Hello, I'm Andrea Patton with A. Patton Fine Art. I live in Houston, Texas, USA, and I am here in my art studio, and today I'm going to talk to you about NARA paper, the amazing NARA paper. A little bit about myself. I've been an artist for 40 years. I paint in acrylics and alcohol inks. I've been painting in alcohol inks for about 6 years, and I absolutely love them. I also teach. Before the COVID, I had a lot of people come into my art studio and take in-person lessons. And now I do them through Zoom, which is an amazing way to do it, but it is really nice to also do it in person. So I do miss that. So I belong to a large alcohol ink group on Facebook, and I heard about NARA papers. And I use a lot of different papers and I use tiles, but I thought I really want to give alcohol ink on NARA paper a try. So I went ahead and bought some. You can get different sizes and also different thicknesses. So I have the 10 sheets thickness 275, and they work really, really well. I cut them into small pieces sometimes, and I'm going to show you that in a little demo I'm going to give you. And you can also buy them in these circles, and I believe they're 6 inches in diameter, and they work out really well too. You can also buy black NARA paper. I have not tried that yet. So I was on Instagram and I saw on the NARA paper group, which I follow, that they were having an Artist of the Month contest. And I thought, well, I just got back from beautiful Colorado where the mountains are gorgeous and the colors were changing, and I thought, well, I'm going to enter this contest and I'm going to paint something on NARA paper. So I entered my autumn in Colorado painting. And then all of a sudden, early October, I get this notice that I was the winner, the September winner. And I just couldn't believe it. I was so excited. So that's why I wanted to talk to you about it and tell you a little bit about the painting and how I did the painting. And also tell you how one of the biggest reasons I love NARA paper is it's non-staining. So you can paint something on the NARA paper and then remove it with alcohol, which I'll show you. And a lot of artists like that because there are a few papers out there and some of them stain, and if you make a little mistake, then you want to remove it. So, and I loved the way I could make the clouds. So this was amazing. So I am going to turn the camera down to my work area and give you a quick demo on mountains and sky. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to use the Sailboat Blue by Ranger, and really just going to apply it right to the surface. Get it on there nice and thick. Nice blue sky. And you just keep on working the inks for just a few seconds because they dry so quickly. And if you keep rubbing back and forth, you're going to get streaks. And we do not like streaks. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Prismacolor marker and do an outline of mountains. Just a little bit, not too big. Maybe one big one over there. And now I'm going to show you how I can remove that blue ink. I'm just gonna put a little on a paper towel. You can also do a Q-tip. But really it comes right off. I think I'll use a Q-tip here. A little bit more. I'm just going to do one little section because it's okay if I get some of the brown ink from the mountain mixed with the blue. It's okay. But look at how perfectly white that gets. It's just unbelievable. Now I want to work on the clouds a little. I have some alcohol on my Q-tip, so really I'm just going to dab on there. And you can make amazing, amazing clouds on NARA paper by removing the ink. And they don't have to be perfectly white, because when you look at clouds you see light blue and different colors mixed in. But really I haven't added any more alcohol to my Q-tip. It's still nice and wet. So it's wonderful paper to make clouds. Okay, let's see. Now I'm ready to make some mountains. And I'm going to use some teak wood. And I'm really going to just go right on the paper. You can use the little dishes. I use the little dishes a lot, the little plastic dishes, but not to make this demo so long. I'm just gonna add it right on. The painting that I did took several hours to create. So it's nice and wet. Don't put too much on because then it'll start spreading into the sky. Now I think I will use this dish. I'm going to add a little bit of blending solution, which is alcohol plus glycerin. And I just want to kind of blend those mountains just a little bit, give it some texture. Be careful not to drop any on your blue sky. Drop any of the blending solution. Okay. So I have my mountains. Those are fine. Those work out nice. See, there's even some blue mixed in there, but that's okay. So now I am going to add a little bit of grass in the foreground and then some trees. So let's get some green. Got some green here. I think it's like oregano, Adirondack inks. Just a little bit of green. And then I'm gonna add some sunshine yellow. Since autumn is coming, there's not as much green. So I'm gonna use another clean paintbrush. Always have some paper where you can dab your paintbrush and your ink, too much ink. I like that, just kind of an abstract. See if you can see it okay. And then over on the right, I'm going to have the trees. Okay, that looks pretty. Now I'm going to add some trees. Maybe get a little bit of dark down here because I know I'm going to have shadows from the trees. So you can see that. I'm adding a little bit of, I had some black in here. So the shadows from these tall trees, similar to this. So I like to anticipate ahead what kind of shadows I'm gonna need. So I'm gonna fill this part in with some orange trees. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some orange into, got a little dish over here that had some orange, and it's called Sunset Orange. And just dip it in. Just start making your trees. It looks like these are some kind of a, I don't know, it looks like a spruce tree maybe. I don't know if it would be a spruce tree because spruce trees don't get orange. But I got my photo from Pixabay online. So maybe it's some kind of an aspen or something. Not exactly sure the type of tree this is, but they were tall. Now I'm gonna put a little bit up here in the background, some smaller trees. Maybe grab some red. I had some red here on my plastic. Lots of different colors. And it doesn't have to be real perfect or realistic because this is all in the background. All right. I think I'm gonna add a little yellow. Get some yellow into my dish here. Use the same paintbrush. It's okay. Add a little yellow in there. Then I'm going to put a little bit of dark in the background here. Kind of some dark shadows. And you can use Prismacolor pens, alcohol ink Prismacolor markers, which I did use some of those in my winning painting. So, all right, so I have some black in here already, and I wanted to add a little darkness in the background. See, I have some dark back there, so we're gonna do that. Just a little, not too much, just for a contrast. Okay. And then I am going to add some evergreens far into the back. And really, you can do that with the markers. I think it's easier to do evergreens with markers. It's just you can go a little precise. And what I like to use is, let's see here, they're Micron pens, and they're wonderful. Real fine point. This is an 08. So what I'm going to do is just make some lines straight up and down. Doesn't have to be perfect. Again, this is way in the background. So the illusion of little evergreen trees back there. And I think evergreen trees are one of my favorite things to draw and to paint. make so many different sizes and shapes, and tall skinny ones, and fat ones, and some that have snow on them, and I just think they're beautiful. So I've got a couple in the background going up high into the mountain. And then you can add, if you want, you can add a little bit of detail on the edges of some of these trees. Maybe make a line down the middle for the trunk and make some little branches coming out. Not too detailed. This is kind of an abstract painting. If we're gonna do a realistic painting, as I did a little bit more realistic on the winner, you're gonna spend a lot of time, okay? Again, it'll take hours to make one that's more realistic, but since we don't have a lot of time for this demo, I'm just doing a little more abstract. Draw maybe a little grass. Just remember, in the front of the painting, always make it a little more realistic. I did say this is abstract, but we kind of have a mix going on here. A little bit realistic in the front with the branches and the grasses and things like that. In the background, not so much. Blurry, not perfect. So there we go. Quick little demo of Colorado mountains on NARA paper with alcohol inks. So I do hope you try NARA paper soon. I love it, and I'm going to continue using it, and I'm going to teach classes in NARA paper and promote it a lot. So thank you very much, and let me know if you ever have any questions. I'm Andrea Patton with A Patton Fine Art. Thank you. Bye-bye.